One more thing we can use right triangle trigonometry for is to find missing angles of our triangle. So again, if we're looking at right triangles, as long as we have two sides, we can find all the missing angles. Take a look at number 1 right here. If we want to find that missing angle, which I'm going to label as A. How about that? We're looking for angle A right there. I'll put it right here. Well, if we want to find that, we need to look at what sides we have. I have the adjacent side and I have the hypotenuse. Adjacent and hypotenuse gets us thinking cosine. So I'm going to use cosine of my angle would be 4 over 5. And so now we're thinking, how can we get that A by itself? We need to undo cosine using something called the inverse of cosine. And so we do this inverse cosine to both sides of our equation. You might also hear someone call this arc cosine. We're just talking about the opposite of cosine, basically. And to undo that, these essentially cancel each other out to get us A. And over here, we have inverse cosine 4 over 5. And we can type that in the calculator. Notice on your calculator, all right, right there where we have cosine, notice above it in yellow, that's inverse cosine. So I'm going to do second cosine, brings up inverse cosine. I'm going to type in that 4 over 5. And we see that our angle would come out to be 36.87 degrees if we're rounding to the nearest hundredth, but because we're asked to round to the nearest degree, that's about 37 degrees. Moving on to 3. If we want to find that missing angle, I'm going to let this be angle B. Well, notice what we have here. We have the opposite side, we have the adjacent side. This is tangent. We're calling for tangent here. The opposite tangent of our angle is equal to the opposite side over the adjacent side. Again, I'm going to do inverse tangent to both sides. Cancels out over here, but we now have the measure of our angle is equal to the inverse tangent, 21 over 42. We type that in again. Second tangent gives us inverse tangent, 21 over 42. Close those parentheses. The measure of angle B, 26.57 degrees, but round to the nearest degree would be 27 degrees would be the measure of angle B.